Okay, I'm gonna get on to Tarot Tuesday soon, but before we go there, I really want to talk about the astrology for the week ahead. And if you don't listen to any astrology for the week ahead podcasts or anything, this might be a good source for you. I'm gonna do this as quick as I can, so you don't feel overwhelmed. There is a lot happening, but I'm gonna break it down for you so it's easy to understand. So we're starting with, we've got Neptune moving into Aries. I literally had to write this down because there's a lot happening. We've got Neptune moving into Aries, which the last time we had this, there was the American Civil War. And with Aries and Neptune, it can feel like a bit romanticized, and that's why, you know, a lot of people enlisted in this war because there was a bit of like romanticism around it, but things had already progressed since the last war, so a lot of people actually died, which made it very intense. And again, with Aries, fiery sign. Neptune is very smoke and mirrors is coming to me, but like Neptune and Aries just don't get along really well. Like Neptune doesn't feel very comfortable in Aries, and it will be Neptune will be in Aries for 14 years, so the shift isn't going to feel abrupt. However, there can be peaks of intensity, so we're already seeing that obviously in the world today. And when I'm talking about the astrology for the week or any astrology, I am always talking about how it can relate to what's going on a bigger scale, on a bigger picture, and how it can relate back to your own personal self. So I encourage you to look at both perspectives. Okay, so, and then with Aries, it has a side of like spirituality and liberation. Something to think about. This is like the big shift that we have going on this week. And then on top of that, we have Mars conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. So Mars and Pluto together can symbolize a lot of raw power. Mars is a very warlike planet, and Pluto represents the underworld, the darkness, the shadows. So together, they create a lot of raw, powerful energy. And then with Aquarius, it makes it a little bit more personal. Let me flip the page. So it might feel like with Mars and Pluto and then Aquarius, it might feel like there's some pressure here, but in terms of I'm sick of my own shit. I'm done, you know, holding myself back. But it can feel, there might be points where you're like, oh, I'm feeling a bit bad about myself. I should do better. I know better, but why can't I do better? Why haven't I done better? Why haven't I taken this action? So with Aquarius here, with sitting with, Mars and Pluto, it's really saying like, it's really asking you to figure it out. Figure out what you need to figure out that's not feeling good, because Aquarius is about systems and getting your systems in place, whether that's technologically or, you know, personally, emotionally. And yeah, it's really asking you to figure it out. Like maybe, you know, don't have too much of a pity party, because Aquarius is really not about like showing the emotion. You know, public displays of affection is not Aquarius's strong suit. So it's like, okay, you can have your minute to like feel bad for yourself, but like, let's get the show on the road. And with Pluto and Mars, it's really like this, again, this really powerful energy of the two together, because they're very strong planets. It's sort of like the momentum doesn't want to be stopped, and you can try and stop it, but it's going to be like trying to stop a train going full speed. Do with that what you will. We can also see power struggles with social dynamics, whether that's in your own social dynamics, in your like circle, or again, bigger picture. Systems are crumbling because they need to be rebuilt. And Aquarius and Pluto, as we know, just moved into Aquarius. It's really saying like, all right, we're done here. We're making new systems because these don't work anymore. So there might be some anger here towards self or societal structures. Again, small and large scale, always looking at both. So my question to you is, what's one small thing you can change in your daily routine that might aid you in this undeniable shift or change? I'll write it in the caption. So lastly with that, it's asking you to check in on your boundaries and reclaim your agency. Okay, and then we're just gonna wrap it up with, we've got some moon energy, and then Mercury and Venus. So with Mercury and Venus, we focus on Mercury is about like conversations, messages. Mercury was seen as like the messenger of the gods. And with Venus, it's about values and about being honest. So like, how can we be honest about what we need? Okay. So then we've got Jupiter and Cancer together. And that's like really keeping the boat from flipping over. It's doing the heavy lifting right now. Like there's so much shit happening, and Jupiter and Cancer is like, ah. So, you know, there's that. And then so with our moon energy for the week, which might be a little bit easier for everyone to understand because we have the moon, everyone looks at the moon. The moon is emotion. We have the moon in Gemini at the beginning of this week, which is about clarifying and processing. And then it moves into Cancer, which is more emotional, but the above, clarifying and processing, will help you prep for the moon in Cancer. And then for the end of the week, we move into the full moon in Leo, which is either Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you live. But we're going to sit in that energy for a couple days, of course. And the full moon in Leo is really about like the heart of the soul. Like it is a very like self-reflective sign, but it's asking you like, where do I stand in all of this? So, you know, if we're looking at a chart, like an astrology chart, birth chart, whatever the time of the year, Leo is over here, and everything that I just talked about is all sitting up here. It's directly across. So it's asking you again, where do I sit in all of this? So it's really asking you to like step into your heart, bring up your courage and your truth and your emotional honesty, and really figure out, where do I want to be standing in this revolution, whether self or bigger picture. It's about expressing who you are. And we're not pretending anymore. This is your life force. This is who you are. Where do I stand in all of this? We're already at 8 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I know this might be a lot. I encourage you to listen back to this if you need to. Write your own little notes down. Again, the two biggest things that are happening starting now for the next big handful of years is Neptune in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius. So if you can look at those, and with Leo here, like dive in. What systems do I have in place? What systems do I need to change? What systems do I need to focus on that will move me forward in the bigger picture and the smaller picture within my own world? I hope this helps. Send me a message, comment if you have any questions. Love you so much.